Hey, this is Angie.
And I'm Ryan.
And we are
Happy Healthy Vegan. Well, guess what week this is, Angie?
Oh wait, it's National Eating Disorders Awareness Week.
Whoa.
You know, sometimes being healthy can go a little too far. People with the best intentions stretch too thin. This is National Eating Disorders Awareness Week, and there's a new name to spotlight: orthorexia.
The bottom line, clean eating has a dirty side. It's when being healthy is all someone wants to be.
An unhealthy obsession with healthy eating may be a disorder called Orthorexia Nervosa. This is when eating healthy food dominates a person to such an extent that it starts affecting him or her physically, emotionally, or socially.
It's called Orthorexia Nervosa, which literally means a fixation with righteous eating.
Orthorexia is an obsession with eating food that one considers healthy.
Orthorexia, it's a fixation with food quality and purity. People who suffer from orthorexia severely restrict the foods that they allow themselves to eat. They feel guilt, they feel shame when they eat anything they perceive to be unhealthy.
Orthorexic is a person who's overly obsessed with the quality of their food and also the purity of their food.
I think that people should be concerned about the quality of their food. I mean, we don't want GMO foods. We don't want Franken foods.
Yeah, does that make you orthorexic that you refuse to eat a Monsanto gene in your corn?
The thing that really got me worked up is not even so much that they're bringing up orthorexia, but it's the examples they're using for orthorexia. The two people that seem to come up in the articles the most are both former vegans, and they're like these recovering vegans or something. One, in fact, had a vegan blog. I believe it was called The Blonde Vegan, and now she's like, I kind of feel like these articles are coming out as like a big PR push for her rebranding of now she's the balanced blonde.
Jordan Younger became a vegan sensation, obsessively chronicling her meals on her blog, The Blonde Vegan. That is, until her restrictive diet devolved into orthorexia.
How does eating healthy become an eating disorder?
When it turns into an obsession.
Now the vegan blogger's stories, she started out vegan, like we are vegan, and then somehow she started refining her diet more and more.
Jordan says she restricted her diet so much she developed a strange rash and grew weak, and like Jenny, stopped having her period.
I would kind of embark on these 10 to 30-day juice cleanses where I was only drinking vegetable juice. That's not really veganism, that's just not even eating.
Younger says she lost 25 pounds in 2 months.
But share some of the symptoms you were having.
So I had lost my period for 6 months, which was the first sign to me that something was really off. I was also exhausted all the time.
You were malnourished.
I was malnourished, yeah. I was very much restricting myself through the shield of veganism.
Orthorexia is not about being thin. It's a drive to eat perfectly. In extreme cases, orthorexia can lead to malnutrition, weight loss, brittle hair, and can even affect a woman's menstrual cycle.
A lot of the patients I see who may have orthorexia are females. They tend to be young. They're often athletes, which means they have perfectionist tendencies.
A lot of people who go vegan have that extremism in them, so it's very easy to take it to the next level because you're teaching yourself these restrictive habits. So if you just start limiting yourself more and more, which I was doing because I was doing all this research on all different types of veganism, so raw veganism, the 80-10-10 plant-based diet, it's very easy to tip the scale into obsession.
When she got help, they gave her the same song and
balanced diet.
You need a balanced diet that includes meat and fish, which we've already discussed. Meat and fish are both meat, and dairy and all the rest of it. And that's just really makes me angry that people who failed at a vegan diet think that the only solution is to go back to having a carnivorous SADS meat and dairy inclusion diet. Why not have a healthy, balanced vegan diet? And the other woman, she started out just wanting to be healthy, which I know a lot of you guys come to our channel wanting to learn more about being healthy, and I know a lot of you are confused, which is why I think it's important for us to talk about this stuff. So she started looking at all the articles and videos and everything online, like some of you guys are, and she started getting confused, like I know a lot of you guys are, and she's like, some people are saying this, some people are saying that. So she started making arbitrary decisions like, well, I'm just not going to eat any of this food category or any of that food category, no this, no that, and the other thing, until finally she ended up only eating 5 things that had somehow made her okay list.
Yeah. The person starts out with the pursuit of health and looking for eating quality foods, but then it becomes such an obsession that they end up not eating adequately.
And then it all culminates in her going to this big Easter party
dinner.
And she lists all the food that was being served at the party. And to be honest, you guys, I was super grossed out by most of it myself. I was like, I would have a bummed time at this party too.
Yeah,
it was
fruit
like
salad with whipped cream added to it. Come on, really? And the host knew that a vegan or vegetarian was coming over.
It starts to become an obsession. It starts to impact their social relationships. They stop going out to eat with friends. They start having issues in relationships. They stop seeing friends with the fear that they don't know what food is going to be at their friend's house.
My friends would know, like, if I was coming, that they would need to have, something for me to eat there, or they would go ahead and say, Angie, you might want to bring something with you, which my family's not afraid to tell me, Angie, why don't you just go ahead and bring something, because we're just going to be eating, like, cupcakes and hamburgers.
It's not rude, it's cool. It's actually helpful to know ahead of time to bring your food.
Yeah, so her friend had, like, 2 kinds of meat, and it was, like he said, fruit salad with dairy in it. She was like, well, I guess I'll stick with the salad, but it has mounds and mounds of Parmesan cheese in it, which is one of my pet peeves. So close yet so far. So I felt her pain, it was horrible. It was like the whole thing was fraught with peril. It was all meat and dairy based.
Basically, she wasn't eating, and that night for dinner, and her husband's going, we're gonna get help for you when we get back, because this is BS.
Yeah, so her husband shamed her and sent her into some sort of mental institution where they convinced her that she needed to eat everything.
Meat. So there's a lesson to be learned here.
I think there is.
Yes, both these bloggers had 2 things in common. First of all, they had extremely restrictive diets, like 4 foods for one and just green juice for the other. When you have an extremely restrictive diet like that, since there's only 3 or 4 or 1 food you can eat, if you can't find that food or foods, what are you going to do? You can't.
You're gonna starve, right?
Yeah, you're gonna fail.
And that's what they were doing. They were starving.
And eventually, you say, "Screw this! I'm gonna quit this diet and go do something else. It's gonna be even worse for you, probably."
Yes, we see that happening in the scene. The more restrictive the people are with their diets, the more likely they are to give up.
Well, there's a solution to that, and it's not going to a balanced diet that a doctor or dietitian will give you, which means having meat and dairy and all that crap. There's such thing as a balanced vegan diet, a whole food, plant-based diet like how we eat.
Yeah, and so many doctors have been proving the best diet to prevent all the major diseases is plant-based diet. We eat a wide variety of fruits, vegetables, and grains, and we don't feel restricted in any way by our diet. I just don't see any reason why you need to throw out the baby with the bathwater and give up a vegan diet in order to not be quote-unquote orthorexic.
Yeah, there's nothing orthorexic about how we eat. Check out our video. I'm going to link to it at the end here. What we ate in 2014. Warning, it's kind of food porn. You'll see the
You're gonna get hungry.
wide variety, the plethora of varieties of foods that we're eating different foods seasonally. It's this kind of diet that is, we can eat this way the rest of our lives. And we're not restricting. We're not going to fall off of it and say, oh, it sucked. We'll have to eat meat now. No, never.
No. So anyways, hopefully you or none of your friends or family are falling for this weird vegan as orthorexic story that they're telling out there in the media right now. If you've been getting any grief from anyone, be sure to pass this video on to them so they can see a couple of healthy, balanced vegans. And if you've had experiences with orthorexia before and you've conquered it, we'd love to hear about it in the comments down below.
Or maybe you're currently struggling with it.
Maybe you are, and if you are, we'd love to help you out. So we can continue to talk about this topic in the future if you guys are interested. Like the video if you're into it. Please stay subscribed for more healthy vegan tips, information, recipes, and more from Ryan and me here at Happy Healthy Vegan. And until next time,
as
critically, keep it carb, baby. Keep it carb.
Orthorexia has taken on a life of its own on social media. Click the hashtag and you get flooded with highly nutritious but vaguely unappetizing photos of meals.